You ready for this?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, so today we're going on an adventure.
What kind of adventure?
We're going in the past.
We're adventuring to the past?
We are. We're going to I don't know, it's called the past here, by here. That's something like that.
So it says that we're there, right?
That's the address of the place that is on the website.
Okay, we'll see. Round 2. Keep her moving! Keep her moving! Let's go down this way. Google has messed us up pretty good. Okay, pause in the chaotic video for just a little bit. We get questions, Q&A, it happens all the time. And so we figured some of the more common questions, we'll go ahead and answer them from the subscribers.
Yeah.
So, Mama, the first thing a lot of people ask us is when you get started in homesteading and you start processing your own food, animals, meat, how do you do that? They're questioning, is it difficult to do that?
Yes and no. At the beginning, when we're processing these animals, it is kind of a hard thing. You have to really know what you're doing and watch a lot of videos and know what you're doing. But then we're feeding our family. And so it made it a lot easier, and we knew what those animals ate. We knew how they were taken care of, and we knew that it was going to take care of our family.
Well, and part of the process too is we have our own, things that we do. Like say it's a chicken. The kids are involved too. The kids will go grab the birds. They'll bring them to me. We'll calm them down. We put them in a kill cone, and then I dispatch them. And I do the part where the feathers get softened. Then the kids do the plucking or the machine plucking. And then Mama does the eviscerating and cleaning them up, getting them ready for stuff like that. Now, for me, because I'm the one that was actually doing the actual dispatching, it was very difficult in the beginning, to be honest.
Yeah.
It really, really was. Yeah. Because you put your heart and soul into these animals, and you're taking care of them every day, and when they're hurt, you take care of them. And what we do is we actually, being a family of believers, we will say prayer before we actually do it, and we thank God for His bounty, and we thank God for the animals. And then we will thank Him also, and just that He's provided for us. And then we also pray that the animals will go quickly and will be efficient, and they will have the very least amount of trauma as they move on. So I guess the long way of answering that question is there's difficulty in the process. I still don't I'm not like, oh man, I can't wait to get in there.
No, and you shouldn't have that feeling of, I'm gonna get in there, and no, it's not that. It's you're providing for your family, and you care for that animal the entire time it's with you. And
right.
Yeah.
But by the same token, I agree with Mama here that I would much rather have the animal and be able to do this for the family than buy from a grocery store, from a chain. Because if you see how these animals are treated on industrialized farming situations, most of it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
And so, there's that question. Let's get back to some more of the shenanigans. All right, we're still looking for this place. Google has let us down, and/or the organizers of this event. Or maybe both.
I'm so done looking for events.
Events?
2 strikes in a row. Next time you have to find one.
Well, here's...
That's the museum.
There's the historical center. I wonder. There's the historical center. There's no indication of anything going on.
They're only open on Tuesdays.
Uh-huh. Okay, that is getting a little trying, but back to Q&A time. Another question we get asked a lot is, I live in an apartment, or I live in a very small place, or I don't have access to all the land that you have, but I still want to start growing more food for myself. How do I start?
Easy. There are many different buckets that you can have.
Growing trees
that you can have out on a porch or in a sunny spot in your house. There is an easy way to do that.
Well, we have a vertical garden.
We do have a vertical garden in our kitchen right in front of a very sunny window, and the sun comes in probably, I don't know, half of the day, and it grows lettuce like nobody's business. Our basil, it was amazing. I'm still waiting for my strawberries, though.
They're coming up.
They're coming, but they're not there yet.
Well, and the point is that even in Wisconsin, not being outside, if you had access to like an apartment, like an outdoor kind of veranda or something like that, these vertical gardens, I'll put a link down in the description below, the one we have, but they grow amazingly well.
Right. And up here, we can only have about 100 days of growing season. That's it. So we have to do something inside to be able to supplement, our greens and things like that.
If you're on a very limited amount of space, that's what I would recommend. If you have access, if you don't have access, but here's another one. This is a good one I forgot about, just remembered. There are a lot of community gardens available, even in cities and even in areas that you might not have any property or anything like that, but you can get out there and find a community garden. And if you are in a faith community, a lot of churches are now opening up sections of their area that are not being used for anything to make gardens come to life for people so they can feed themselves, and then they give the excess to local food kitchens.
Yep.
So there's a few ways, don't just get outside the box. Don't think like, I can't do anything because I don't have what you have.
No, you can, okay. Back in Cincinnati, we had 1 acre, and we had a mini cow, we had goats, we had chickens, we had rabbits, and a big garden, and bees. So we did a lot even on an acre. Even if you have a 1/4 of an acre, you can still grow a lot. Even in an apartment, you can still have a vertical tower or a tower garden and still grow enough fruit for you and your family.
Just think outside the box.
Yes.
All right, back to the chaos. So apparently, that over there is the event. There's a tent.
Some straw bales.
And there's no one there.
Nope, not a single person.
We drove an hour and a half one way for this historical blast into the past, and they've let us down. Well, I know what we'll do. I saw a candy store downtown. Yep, saw the candy store. Let's make the best of this.
Okay.
Come on. Check it out, Mama. Sprinkles are for winners.
We're winners.
Yeah. Since Chippewa Falls is closed, Walmart is always open.
Always.
And we got to get something treat for Grace because the other kids got candy.
Yep.
And so, I don't know, I'm thinking you need maybe a couple new tires. What do you think, Grace? New tires for the car?
No.
You sure?
Okay.
No.
All right, that is getting a little bit nutty.
Yeah.
Okay, another question. Happens a lot, and people don't understand. They ask, okay, you say you're homesteaders, but you also say that you're you also say that you're preppers. What is the deal with prepping? I mean, why?
Well, back in 2011, we actually started prepping. And then as we're progressing in our prepping, because we lived in a suburb of a large city, and we wanted to make sure that we had enough food to feed our family for a few weeks, then a few months. And as we started thinking about all of these things, we're thinking,
They're going to run out.
they're going to run out. And if we don't have a way to be able to grow stuff and to be able to provide meat and dairy and, things like that, eggs, we're gonna be hosed.
Kind of spinning your wheels, then you're wasting time.
Right.
Yeah, and to your point, when we realized we had to have a resupply is when we shifted from just getting stuff and sticking it away
Hoarding it, yeah.
to learning skills.
Right.
And then when we started learning skills, we realized, you do need to know how to, do some safety things in terms of preparedness. And you do need to understand some of that kind of stuff so that you can take care of your family. But the reality is, if I can grow most of the food that we need, whether it's, through animals or chickens or garden and learning how to do canning, that gave us the most amount of
Yes.
that we've ever had, except spiritually. I mean,
Right.
peace comes through God for us.
Right.
And
we don't do this out of fear.
No.
We do this to be able to provide for our family.
our neighbors.
Yes.
Because I'll tell you what, and it's a funny thing to me, and I say this, so if you guys have been watching us any length of time, you've heard me say this, so bear with me. You buy a house, right? Or you get insurance for stuff. You get car insurance, you get home insurance, you get boat insurance, you get life insurance. You get insurance for every little thing you got so it can protect your stuff.
Right.
Yet, that's completely fine and normal and sane and nobody thinks anything about it. But then if you tell somebody, I got a year's worth of food in the house, then you're nuts.
Then you're crazy.
All of a sudden you went from being sane to nuts.
Yeah.
And I look at the preparedness side of things as this is how you get started in making sure you have that kind of insurance.
Right.
It's not fear.
Right.
I mean, you could lose your job.
Right.
There's,
And we have talked to many folks who that has happened to. They had started preparing and then a spouse lost their job or they got hurt. Well,
Then
now they
needed
have
it.
a way to be able to feed their family.
Right. And so for us, you're right, it's not a fear-based thing. As a matter of fact, the more skills I learn, the more peace I have in terms of like worldly
Right.
peace.
Right.
Not spiritual peace, because that only comes from one place.
Right.
But I think it's kind of silly not to. People say, oh, you're a prepper. Well, yeah, we homestead too.
Yeah.
But I think you should do as much as you can do. Learn skills. Once you have a skill learned, nobody can take that from you.
No.
You know how to pressure can food? Well, that just made you a whole lot more able to care for yourself and your family and a lot of other people.
Right. Well, and think about it. 100 years ago or more, this is what families did.
Just do it.
This was life. They grew humongous gardens and they canned their food or dried their food to feed them through the winter.
Yeah.
That was what they did.
I think it's important that we learn these skills and that we teach them to our kids.
Yeah, exactly.
So
We need to pass these, we
go
need
ahead.
to pass these skills on because they've gotten forgotten about.
A lot of them have.
Yeah.
All right, back to the insanity. So there, we found a poster of the event, but we also found out that it was
canceled because of the heavy rains that we had on Thursday. That area tends to flood, so XL Energy told them that they had to evacuate in 24 hours.
Nobody called us.
No. What a
XL
bummer.
Energy did not call.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the scoop. I can understand when things happen and events have to change just because events have to change. However, you'd think they would have made a note on their website. Oopsie, our event's canceled.
Yeah, good call.
So, I think there might be a conspiracy, Mama. It seems like lately we'll go to an event and it's just not there.
Well, and Thursday, you said, we have Friday and Saturday, we don't have anything going on. It's supposed to be really nice out. Let's find some stuff to do.
Yeah.
You're in charge of that.
Because I was making a video.
Right, you were making a video. So, okay, fine. I will find a couple of things to do. So I did.
And it's not your fault, obviously.
No, it's not, but
I mean, I just think that there's somebody out there going, oh, they want to go to Chippewa Falls? Close it down. Shut down the city of Chippewa Falls.
They had ESP.
Couldn't even get into the antique store. Oh, well.
No, the antique store was closed.
So the highlight of the day was we drove an hour and a half to go to Walmart.
And a candy store.
Candy store was cool, though.
The candy store was cool. They had a lot of neat things.
Yeah. So anyway, smiles on our faces. No woe is me. It
No.
just is life.
Yeah.
So with that, I'm going to say I'm Brad.
I'm Christa.
You guys have an amazing and blessed day.